What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of How You Do That podcast. On today's episode, we've got the one, we've got the only, Mayra Rodrigez. Mayra Rodrigez, thank you for being on the show today. Tell everybody a little bit more about you, where you're from. You know, you got a big fight coming up, right?
Yes, it's going to be this Saturday at the Shriners Auditorium.
Okay, cool. Who are you going to be going up against?
I believe she's an MMA fighter, so she'll be coming in from out of town.
Okay, so it's an MMA fighter jumping into the world of boxing?
Yes.
Okay, cool. How many fights is this going to be for you?
So this would be my third fight.
Third fight. Okay. Well, do you have any butterflies you've been putting in?
I've been working out a lot, so no butterflies here, just readiness.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, I mean, you look great. So I mean,
Thank you.
yeah, I can tell you've been putting in the work for the fight and all that. How long have you been boxing?
It's been over 7 years, going on 8 years now.
8 years. Wow. Okay. What inspired you to get into that sport? Because boxing, unlike other sports that are out there, it's more of a lifestyle than anything, right? So what was it that kind of brought you into that lifestyle?
I think it was just like an outlet. I was going through I guess it gets a little easier to talk about it now that people have been asking me, but I was going through a divorce. I had just had my second daughter, and that was my way out of all that. It was just like the boxing was it helped me to get back up on my feet, or however you want to call it. But yeah.
Okay. So it was a way for you to vent, kind of let out the frustrations and all the madness that life kind of was putting on you and all that. And what boxers do you kind of look up to? Who are some of the people that inspired you in a sense to keep on going and brought you to the sport to begin with? Because I would imagine before you jumped into boxing, you were a fan of boxing, correct? Did you watch a lot of fights growing up with the family, or?
So we did watch a lot of fights just because of my dad, but I did not look into it.
Oh, okay.
I just went in it. Just I guess at that time I was doing soccer, and I felt like this is not enough. I need something else because I don't feel nothing. So when I started training, it was just going to be something like a workout or just practice it. But then here I am.
When was that? When was the day that you decided, okay, this is going to be more than a workout. This is going to be something I'm going to get in the ring. What was your first sparring session like? I guess I'll put it that way.
I got chosen.
Oh, you got
I think after my first sparring, it went really bad. Okay. I couldn't move my neck for 2 days. I was just in pain, and I was all this is it just woke me up. It brought me to life. I'm like, you know what? I'm going to train, and I'm going to be like that girl, the one that kicked my behind. So I'm I started training hard, and I wanted to fight amateur. After that, just the whole sparring, it was just this adrenaline. Whenever I would see the sparring, I was like, oh, I want to do that.
Well, that's cool. So now, what do you feel you have done different from your first fight in your second fight? And then what do you feel is going to be different in this third fight?
So my first fight, I guess I was not prepared to go up on stage. I thought that by becoming a ring girl before going professional, that would prepare me more to the crowd. I'm not going to get stage fright. But boy, was I wrong. It's so different. I guess after my first fight, I just wanted to I saw it where, okay, well, I already put a foot inside. So now I know what I got to do. So on the second fight, I knew exactly okay, I got to be prepared for this, that. The training was so different from the first. Now I knew what everybody meant about the amateur world's not the same as the professional. It's way different, and it's way different of a training as well. So I prepared well for the second. But I did see some things that I could have worked on now. So on this coming up fight, I'm just all okay, I'm ready. I don't know, I've been training hard, and just everything's so different now. I feel and I look different than my previous fights.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's a good thing, right? I mean, we always want to evolve. We always want to grow.
Yeah.
Do you feel you've added more plyometrics to your training? Do you feel like you've added more cardio to your training, weightlifting, or kind of like a little bit of everything?
A little of everything.
A little bit of everything?
Yes.
What's sparring like now compared to your first sparring match?
This way different. Now I know what I have to do. Just, the head movements, the first time I did the sparring, when I was up there, I just had like a smile, like, I'm like, what's going on? Versus now I'm just like, no, I'm so different. I'm just, I take it really serious now. I think the first was just like kind of like, oh, what is it like? Kind of just playing around. But no, this is like, it's a serious sport, where you could get hurt.
Yeah. How does your speaking of that, how does your family take to you boxing? Like your mom, your dad, do they come out and they watch your fights? Are they rooting you on? Or are they kind of telling you, no, don't do it? What's that look like with your boxing in your family life?
So my dad's not, I guess they're scared that I could get hurt, and they're supportive as far as before heading out. They'll give me a hug. They'll, give me their blessings. But they will not come out to a fight.
Right.
But I understand, because then I put myself in their shoes, and I'm like, okay, if this was one of my daughters, like, this would be so hard. I would probably be there crying like, don't hit her. Yeah, I get it. My sisters are very supportive. They're out there on every fight, being supportive of it. It's a little hard for them too. So just the way that each one takes it is so different, and I get it. It's hard to watch somebody that you love up on the ring fighting, and yeah.
Yeah, no, I can imagine. How many brothers and sisters do you have?
I have 2 older sisters.
2 older sisters. Okay, that's cool. Do you ever teach them a thing or two about boxing, or is that pretty much your forte?
So I here and there I'll have classes just for fun, and they've came out to some of the classes.
Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Yeah, what gym do you train out of?
So right now I have different coaches training me. Even the training's different for me. Okay. Just because she's like an MMA fighter.
Okay.
I also wanted a little bit of like, okay, boxing. So I have my coach, and then I have an MMA coach too.
Oh, okay.
And it's strictly just like boxing, but he comes from the boxing world, but he transitioned into the UFC MMA world. Okay. So yeah. I'm getting a little of like all that.
A little bit of everything. Do you see yourself potentially going in the future crossing over to MMA or UFC or any of that, or is boxing where your heart lies?
That's a good question, because lately I've been thinking so much about it. Just, I don't know. I think, I don't know if this happens to everybody, but you get a little bit of curiosity, like, okay, what's that world like? If this is boxing, that one has a lot of like everything else, the kicks and everything. So I've been considering it. I think I want to maybe try out, just to see what it's like. Not an actual fight, but I want to get like the feel like for the training or all that. Of course, okay. After my fight.
Yeah. So would you be looking into more like Muay Thai, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, like grappling style, or? Yes. Okay. As far as, so you're a native San Antoniite, right?
Yes.
Okay, cool. What are some of the things that you do in your downtime to unwind whenever you don't have a big fight coming up?
I spend a lot of time with my family, with my daughters. We're always out doing family things. Just, I guess, like the, what do you call those play areas or amusement parks?
Oh, that's cool. Like family outings, things like that.
Yeah. I stay active. I can't just stay still. I got to be doing something.
Right.
Or even with them, just like their sports, or I live next to a park, so we're always there.
Oh, that's cool. So you get to go out and hike and, jog and play on the monkey bars and all that good stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, we stay active.
That's pretty cool. Have you let any of your daughters watch any of your fights after they take place? I know you said your family doesn't go out to them, but do you let them watch the recordings afterwards, or is that one of those things where you don't want them to kind of like watch mom get down in the ring?
That was hard for me because the oldest, she wanted to come out for the first fight to watch me fight. And I'm like, no, there's no way. No, you're not going. So she wasn't allowed to go. The second time she begged me, she's in, what is it? Krav Maga. So she also boxes, like I take her here and there. So I'm like, okay, she's a little older, I guess. I let her go and she really enjoyed it and she's proud of me. So she kind of wants to follow on the same steps. So she'll be there for this fight too.
Oh, that's awesome. Yeah. So you have your daughter there cheering you on. That's good.
Yes. Yes.
Do you feel that adds a different element whenever you're in the ring?
No, I just block off everything.
Block off everything, just kind of hone in on the objective at hand.
Yes. Until I come down, I'm like, oh, where's my daughter? Yeah.
That's pretty cool. What do you feel, how do you see yourself coming out with the victory in this coming up fight?
How do I see myself? Oof. I've learned so much within this time that I've been training. I'm going to guess a knockout.
Okay. What round are you going to knock her out in?
Let's see. Hoping by the first, but I hope it doesn't go past the second.
Right.
That's all I see, the second, and that's it.
Okay.
I don't see it going past that.
Okay. So you got some serious power that you built up.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's pretty cool. What are some of the what are some fighters that are out there now, or are there any fighters that are out there now that you kind of like, whenever they're getting ready to fight, you'll watch them to kind of help you prepare for a fight, or maybe emulate? Do you feel like I guess one way to put the question is, are there any fighters where you've kind of emulated their style a little bit as far as their guard, maybe their technique, their footwork, anything like that? Or is it all pretty much laid out for you by your coaches?
By the coaches.
All by the coaches?
I've tried that where I'm like, oh, that looks cool, and I try it, but no, it's not like that.
Okay. What's your coach's name?
So I have Coach Arturo.
Okay.
And then I have Coach Joe.
Coach Joe and Arturo, what's going on? That's cool. What gyms are they out of, or do they have like a home gym that they train out of, or that they
so Coach Arturo's over at Wolverine's gym, and then Coach Joe is at that jiu-jitsu place. They're around the corner from each other.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or Wolverines, that's right next to Randazzo Brothers, right?
No.
Okay.
That one's close by downtown.
Okay. All right.
10 and what is that? Flores, is it?
Okay. Yeah, I'm still learning the area.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, that's and how did you come to meet them?
So I used to work with my coach, Arturo. I used to train over at a boxing gym.
Okay.
So I had night classes, and then I also had the all-female classes.
Okay.
And he was the strength and conditioning coach at nights. So then he's always been there. He's always reached out if I ever need any help. So I think for every fight, I've trained like where I need more like, okay, I already learned this. Now I got to like advance to like, okay, I need a coach that's going to teach me how to do this.
Right.
So then I started training with him, and then he introduced me to Coach Joe.
Okay.
His name's Midman Joe. Yeah, he's known for that. So, and then I had already been thinking about the whole MMA and all that. I'm like, oh, and then he's in that world. So I'm like, oh.
Do you feel he's kind of nudging you into that as well?
I mean, I see the other fighters and I'm like, here and there, I'm like, what's going on over there? Yeah, I don't know. I'm curious.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong with that. It's a great sport. I've done a little bit of judo, jiu-jitsu, and I mean, it's the camaraderie, the technique. It's a lot of fun. You know, there's a reason why people dedicate their life to that. I mean, there's a reason why people dedicate their life to boxing also, because there's nothing in this world that comes remotely close. You know, it's awesome. It's great. Yeah. So as far as like your training regimen, what are some of the areas that you've seen just a tremendous amount of progression? Like, so for instance, when I started boxing, I was horrible at jumping rope. Like, it used to be so irritating. I mean, No, I keep my hair shaved, but if I had hair, I would have yanked it out. Not literally, but figuratively speaking, because it seemed like every time I'd get like 2 skips in, and then boom, get my foot tangled up or something like that. But it's one of those things I found that you just have to stick with it. Now you could go rounds and rounds and rounds, and it's fine. It's great for conditioning, excellent for building up leg muscles and just burning a lot of calories real quick and all those. It was a love-hate relationship in the beginning, but I guess that's my personal story. How about yourself? Do you have anything similar to that where you started off on it and you just, it was annoying, but then you got great?
Well, I would have to start off with that first because I used to always have bruises on the back of my arm. I don't know if you got that from the jump rope.
Okay.
So I remember when I first started trying to do the whole jump rope, I kept hurting myself, just my arms. And one time I remember seeing myself and I'm like, what happened there? I was all bruised up. It looked bad. And I couldn't recall like what's going on, like maybe in my sleep. And then I'm like, oh my God, it's the jump rope.
Right.
So to be honest, even on my previous fights, I would struggle a little with the jump rope. I don't know why. I guess my legs weren't as strong as I thought they were.
Right.
But now during this boxing training camp, I do it without hesitation. I don't stop. I don't hurt myself. I became a lot stronger, my legs, everything. So I could see a huge improvement just by that itself. Yeah,
that's cool. Do you have any fighters like in the back of your mind where they're kind of like on your radar, where you're like, okay, my goal is to go up against this fighter, knock him out on national TV, MGM, Las Vegas,
Okay, well, not that, but I love watching Senias Estrada. She's my favorite female boxer. I hope that one day I could be like her and, she's so smooth, the way that she fights. It's just like she makes it look so easy and simple when it's not. So I wanna be like that.
Okay. You maybe want to jump in the ring with her one day and go toe to toe with somebody that
I would love that. Yeah.
There you go. That's cool. Now, what do you feel? What do you feel is going to be your next goal after winning this fight?
My next goal, I'm trying to get on another fight, so hopefully that comes through in November.
Okay.
So I'm already getting prepared for even that one.
Wow.
So even the coaches are asking me, how long are you going to rest? You could take a week off. I'm like, no, I'm going to take like just these many days off, 3, just because I want to spend them with my daughters. And after that, like, no, I'm still going to stick to the training camp.
Okay. Yeah. So you're running and gunning then. You're looking to fight, rest, fight, rest, fight, rest. So you're not looking to do what some of the new age fighters are doing, where they're taking one fight and then they're taking 1, 2, 3 years off.
Oh,
you're looking to just rack them all up, rack up a hand.
Like back to back to back, like as much as I can. I want to get as many, and I think I had already like thought of all that, like where, what, I don't want to, because I do know just about a lot of boxers do that, where you don't see them for months and then they come back and they're like, oh, I might fight, and I'm like, why were you gone for so long? Like, right. To start getting prepared again, that's just, I don't see myself doing that.
What's your recovery look like after like an intense day of training or after a fight? What is like recovering from putting all that on your body look like? Do you do a bunch of ice baths? Do you do cryotherapy? Do you how do you decompress and kind of get your body back to, top tier functions?
So I get a lot of massages, and then I do cupping, so I kind of do my cupping myself. I'm like, you know what? And it helps me a lot. My arms, I'll do them, legs. I've tried the ice baths, and I thought I was going to die. They're insane. I don't know how everybody else does them, because I've seen them and they just go in the water like nothing, but not me. I'm just there screaming and crying, but I do it.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I definitely, the thing that tripped me out first time I did ice shock therapy or I did an ice bath was the fact that you got to concentrate on your breathing. Like, I was warned ahead of time. They're like, your body's going to start to hyperventilate. And I told myself it's all mind over matter. You don't mind, it doesn't matter. I didn't think it was going to be that crucial. And it was that crucial. Yeah.
Yeah. I had to at one point after, because it was at my house, right? I had he was trained to do CPR and all that. He's a, what do you call those people in the ambulance?
Oh, okay, like an EMT.
EMT, yeah. So he was tying me net and everything. So I would go in the ice bath and then come out and get in the hot, and then back, and then. So the first time I was crying and all that, and then I'm like, oh, I gotta go back in there. So I'm like, oh, what do I do? I'm like, there was nothing. I'm like, okay, I know it's all my mind. So I'm like, you know what? Can you put some gangster music? And he's all like, oh yeah, like what kind? I'm like, I don't know, like, do you know any? I'm like, just like, put something like really like that's gonna make me feel like, oh, I'm bad, So then he put like I think it was Gangster's Paradise.
Oh, well, Coolio. Okay, yeah.
So I'm like, I mean, that's gangster, no? So I'm like, all right. So it was still hard, but I just kept sticking to it's all my mind.
Yeah. How'd you learn about cupping? You said that you love cupping, that you do it yourself and everything like that.
Well, I had already seen how the other professionals, Canelo and them, you see them with their backs, their the circles on their backs.
Right. Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, after the cupping. And then I was also working for another gym where Kid Austin trains at. So all of them, I would see their backs, and I was just curious, like, what is that? Like, does it really work? Like, I know people do it, but so then when I had somebody do it on me, I was like, wow, like it was like to some points that I couldn't even move my arm. I was just like, man, I'm in pain. But then with the cupping, it's like it just relaxes your muscles. So then after that, I want to say I became addicted to it because it does relieve you big time. And it's like immediate like relief. Like it's a little painful, but it's worth it. After that, you just feel like new.
I tried it before. Shout out to Donald Lefebvre. If y'all listen to this, check out Donald Lefebvre Acupuncture. He does acupuncture and cupping and all that good stuff. But yeah, that's how I found out about it. It's pretty cool. Have you ever tried it where I think they put like a fire inside of it, the fire cupping? Have you ever tried that?
I've never tried that.
Well, if you're ever in Houston, look up Donald. He does the fire cupping. Stuff's out of this world. It's crazy. Yeah. So you mentioned Canelo. Do you see yourself kind of like that style of fighter where you have immaculate defense and also, in a sense, a brawler where you'll go toe to toe with folks and just kind of light them up? Or would you say you're more of like a technical fighter and you're looking to score more on points versus a knockout?
So my favorite boxer is Gervonta.
Okay.
I want to be like him, where I just think like he's one of the strongest boxers that just like the power shots, and he's awesome. I want to be more to that style where, like just like a lot of power, power shots, just strong. He's just strong.
Right. What do you feel helps get you that extra strength in your training? Do you feel more of like mitts? Do you feel more like adding in a little bit of strength and conditioning into it, or
both?
A little bit of both.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool. So with your upcoming fight, you have a handful of sponsors, right? Who are some of the people sponsoring for your fight?
Let me see. There's a lot. So okay. So I have the Alamo Biscuit Company.
Oh, okay.
The first food one. I love eating. So they're one of my sponsors. They're known for their what is it? The conchas.
Oh, no way. Are they the ones with the big giant? Oh, man. And then they have a big thing of abuelas, right? Or a big thing of hot chocolate that you could dip it in also?
You know what? I'm just trying out everything. So every time I go back, I'm like, you know what? I got to wait until after my fight because I'm just like, I want that and that.
Oh, yeah. That place looks amazing.
It's so good. Yeah. So for he's gonna be handing out some of his free biscuits. Since he's one of my sponsors, he's gonna provide me with just like, I don't know how many free. I don't know. I'm gonna ask to see if everybody could get one, just so everybody can go out there and try it.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So biscuits and concha, you can't beat that, right? Oh man, yeah. And how about your other ones? You were out and about. You've been out and about this week. I noticed you were at a car dealership and you went to some other places.
I just came from earlier. I had gone to the San Antonio Card House.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. So that's a new one. um it's like this poker card place.
Okay.
He's supposed to be having some free things coming up too for the fight. So hopefully everybody gets some free goodies from the sponsors.
Oh, that sounds awesome.
I have a DJ too. I gotta find out a little more because I know he plays at some nightclubs. I should have brought my trunks. I also have the Collision place on Bandera.
Okay.
They've been sponsoring me since my last fight too.
Awesome. Yeah. What do they do?
So they do like a collision place where I remember when they had first sponsored me, we had like this insane hell damage. What was it? It was like a lot of hell damage to everybody. It was like a hellstorm.
Right.
So I'm like, oh no, like just like my neighbors, family, like they were all posting. I was seeing outside. I'm like, do y'all cover this? And he's like, yeah, let them know to bring them in. They do body pain. They do just about everything to do with the vehicles.
Oh, cool. So they're like, are they an attorney? Are they an insurance company or?
They're an actual collision place. They have their what do you call those? Where you take your vehicles.
Oh, so they're like an auto repair shop.
Repair shops.
Okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds pretty neat. And who are some of the other sponsors?
The other sponsors, I have a painting company too, wall painting and all that.
Man, that's pretty neat.
Yes.
They do like murals and all sorts of different kinds of designs or?
Yes. I believe they do a little of everything. So I'm gonna provide everybody with the information in case that anybody needs any type of these different type of work. Then they'll be able to contact them.
Okay, cool.
I also have, the exotic, what's it called? It's with the French bullies, the dogs.
Oh, no way. Yes, French bulldogs.
Club Exotic.
Club Exotic. Yeah. Man, that's cool. So they sell like French bulldogs and
yeah. So so he's sponsoring me. This is the first time he sponsors a female boxer or a boxer at all. He wanted to kind of, I guess, because it's more about like the males that the men purchasing the French bullies. I think he's going to start doing where he's going to start selling the Yorkies, like the rare Yorkies or some other type of dogs, and they're pretty neat.
Okay.
So he wants to kind of bring in the females to where it's more towards saw that too.
Okay.
So I think that's great.
Okay. So he's bringing in like the Yorkies for the chicks and you got the French bulldogs. Those are really for everybody. Those are cool dogs. I used to have an English bulldog. I mean, they got the wildest personality you ever imagined. They're cool, real cool dogs. Yeah.
I met his dog and I don't know, I'm scared of dogs. So I'm like, he's like, can you do a photo shoot? And I was like, okay, and you're going to be there, right? And he's friendly. So I'm like, I hope the dog doesn't smell me that I'm scared. But he was a sweetheart. He was really cute, but he was scary looking. His head was just like huge. Yeah. I was like, oh.
That's cool. Are you more of a cat person or you just like, just there's something about the dogs that kind of like, give you butterflies?
Well, it's not so much about, it's just, I think I've been chased by dogs before. So, or like, I don't know, I don't know if they smell me or what it happens. But even one time I was running at the park and then I was running at the park, just minding my own business. And I don't know what I was holding. The dog saw me. There was some people there with their dogs, and the dog starts chasing me out of nowhere.
No way.
Then I'm like running, and then like my hair gets caught on the tree, and I'm like, like I'm freaking out. So I just take off running. They get the dog. I'm like, oh, that was so embarrassing. And then my sister meets me there, and she's like, what happened to you? did somebody do something to you? And I'm like, no. She's like, well, why do you look like that? I'm like, how? So then my hair was everywhere. I had scratches on my face. I hadn't even noticed I looked bad. But I told her I freaked out because the ducks were chasing me.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of a backstory behind it.
Yeah. Yeah, stories. Oh. Yeah, but I do like all animals. I do.
That's cool. Have you seen the sloth out at the San Antonio Zoo?
No, I haven't.
Yeah, I saw that on Instagram. They got like this big giant sloth and they take him out of his cage. I don't know if they let you hold him. If they let you hold him, that'll be pretty cool. I don't know. I might have to go check that out myself if they do that. But yeah, they have a person that works at the zoo and they have him like hanging out on his neck and they got like this big tree. So you can get up and personal with this sloth. I don't know if it's still going on, but it looked pretty cool. It just popped up on my feed one day randomly. So yeah.
No, I haven't seen it.
That's cool. And you have a dealership. They're sponsoring you also, or?
No. Well, we're talking about the sponsorship
that's
for
cool.
my next fight. Yeah.
Okay, there you go. So already got the ball moving for the next one, everything like that. That's what you do, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, that's pretty cool. Well, I wish you all the best. God willing, I'll be there to watch you secure the bag and get a victory this Saturday. Folks, are they going to have it on any streaming platforms, or is it one of those things?
I believe there's going to be a link. As soon as I get that link, or if there's anything, I'll post it so everybody.
Okay, cool.
That's not able to make it can at least watch it through there.
Okay, cool. And do you want to share your social media feeds for folks to follow you and all that?
Of course, it's what is it? Instagram, Mayra Rocks RODGZ.
Okay.
And then Facebook, Mayra Rodriguez.
Okay, cool. Well, it's been a pleasure having you. I look forward to doing more interviews in the future after you get your first belt and you start knocking these folks out. And like I said, God willing, I'll be there Saturday to root you on. And all right, folks, until next time, stay blessed, lose the stress. God bless. I'm Seth, and I'm out. All right, cool. Yeah, because I got a stage name. I'll go by Seth.